Right. Welcome, everybody. I am Sean. I am the warden. I will be running a Mothership for the rest of the players here tonight. This is session 2. Session 1, if everybody recalls. Let me grab my notes if I can find them. The players, that is not my notes. The players are aboard the profit margin, PROPHET margin, or at least auto-corrected or wavy line under it. In which case they were en route, set with a mission to rendezvous with the Alexis, which is a renowned archaeologist, is on board the Alexis, and it's an archaeology scientific ship, and hasn't reported in for over I think it was seven to 10 days, and wanted to have somebody go and investigate. The crew that we have in front of us are members of the profit margin I mentioned, amongst other crew members, and they were in cryo stasis when they came out of jump, and to bells and whistles going off, people sprawled out around the ship, kind of knocked out, and they coming to their senses, being cryo has probably saved them from minor injuries, but assessing the situation, they have, along with Captain, you guys remember the captain's name? It's okay if you haven't. Elias Kowalski.
Elias.
Kirk?
No, Kowalski Elias.
Kowalski Elias. No, did I get it backwards?
No, we were doing the everybody's got a first name for a last name thing.
Okay, fair. And then there's so some of the other members of the crew include Chief Jones, who's the chief engineer. There's about 8 other Marines, led by Sergeant Patrick Toney, who happened to oversee Agda, as well as Agda and Buford, Gupka, the 2 Marines in front of you, played by Jeff and Curtis. And then we have Ensign Shar Riley, Joanne Joe Sullivan, who's part of security, and then we have Tree, or TR2, affectionately named Tree, who's an android aboard the profit margin. So upon arrival, systems were in disarray, and eventually it was divulged that the ship had really no apparent damage that it had sustained in travel. The jump drive has been out for some reason, and that's some of the mechanical dysfunction of the profit margin. They do come in contact with the Alexis, in which case you guys and the captain have docked with the Alexis, and you folks are the boarding party. And so for just refresher, since we haven't played like 10 sessions every week, we'll just go around starting with Mr. Dr. Aaron Timms. If you want to just introduce who you are and who you're playing, that would be great. That would be you, Jared.
All right. Hello. My name is Jared Rasher. What is going on there?
You all right? You got a little lag?
Apparently I don't have Twitch up though, so
It's all right. You're good.
anyway,
Yeah.
Anyway, I am Jared Rasher, and I am playing Dr. Aaron Timms. And Dr. Timms, it was laid back, but now he's a little paranoid because when he started trying to verify if there was any pathogens in the air, he couldn't verify that there wasn't because I blew my intelligence check. So now I'm just a wee bit on the paranoid side, and I might need to take my special muscle relaxers.
Yeah, an interesting doctor. What are you a doctor of, Mr. Timms? Dr. Timms?
I'm a physician.
A physician.
I went to a certified college.
General practice, is that kind of the deal? Are you
Well,
oncologist?
yes,
or?
and I also, I also have degrees in biology and pathology and chemistry as well,
Yes.
especially chemistry. I did a lot of chemistry work in college.
Right. You ingested a lot of chemistry in college, or you studied chemistry in college? Maybe a little both.
There were experiments.
Fair enough.
There were experiments.
And then to my right, I think my left, this direction, got Dirtilus, aka Dan. Who you playing, Dan?
I'm playing Dirt One, your friendly neighborhood android, and yeah, he's running pretty smooth right now. He doesn't see any threat, so he's pretty cool. He's liking this.
Good. And then we'll go this way. Underneath Dan, Mr. Goad. Who are you playing?
I am playing Ogda, the Space Marine. She is a badass bitch, if I'm allowed to say that word on this stream, who has a penchant for the ladies and is also into transcendental meditation. Also, I'd like to point out that Hobbs is blowing up the Twitch chat and says things look pretty official except for Sean's hair.
I see that now.
Just wanted to throw that out there, Sean.
I see that. I put Twitch be like below 3 levels because if case Hobbs showed up, I would not be distracted and have to deal with a heckler. But I have not used the ban hammer. But the night is young.
There goes the gamer hood.
Yeah, there goes the gamer hood. All right, Ogda. Jim, who is Jim playing?
I'm playing Eric Lark, Teamster, who's starting to get a bit of a reputation for being the responsible one, and we'll see if that holds up.
Yeah, the captain kind of put you in charge of the away team. Like you got your senses about you. He doesn't know about the rest of these guys. I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't let him down, Lark. All right. And then next,
I think we both know I will.
And then next to Lark or Jim is Curtis. Curtis, who are you playing?
I'm playing Buford Gubka, Marine private first class. My mama told me, son, find a job where you don't need any intelligence and a strong back. So here I am.
Semper Fi.
I may not shoot straight, but I can kick ass with the best of them.
Fair. Right. And then last but not least, I think you were even last week, Jeff. Jeff Seifert.
Probably so. Yeah, I'm playing Jackson Dane. I'm a teamster on the USS Prophet Bargain, and I'm known for my great directions, and I'm also too pretty to die. So
good to know. I don't know if that's true though. We'll see. All right. So last we left off, you guys boarded the Alexis, came across the room of cryostasis that was in disarray. It seems as though that some of the systems are obviously not functioning properly. You've made your way to the command room where you came across 2 individuals. And those individuals' names that you eventually divulge is Pander and Kranot. One of them is kind of separated at the waist, startling you all. And Pander is the one kind of at the console trying to get things in place and frantically trying to assess the situation, get systems going, while Kranot sits back and kind of, hey, have you tried this? Hey, have you tried that? And it comes to your you realize that they are both androids on the Alexis. And it seems to be the only two individuals that happen to be what some of you may consider living, even though Dr. Timms may question that, given their android status. And so the lights are flickering, and you have heard noises throughout the Alexis. It's dark. I actually should probably do this. There we go. It's dark. You have your vac suits on. The lights from around your helmets kind of illuminate the environment. You do hear the breathing of yourself at times. And so there you go. Now, I don't recall if anybody had left the command room or anticipated doing that. Their captain did sound or communicate with Lark to mention that there were many other ships in the system, and they seem to have been floating, but they didn't realize that when they first arrived. But it's more than you would notice on a typical arrival of a planet that's in this sector, right? Busy sector or busy systems might not be something that you would pay no mind. But this is kind of like going out in the middle of nowhere and finding a bunch of cars parked throughout the fields. And so that's what this is, what the captain is monitoring. Every once in a while, the communication seems to be cutting in and out. But you, for the most part, are where you are. So what do you guys try to do? Or what did you try to do? And we could play catch up with that too.
Wasn't Dirt walking down the hall?
Right.
What was that,
I
Curtis?
thought we were trying to
Was
make
I
our way
in
to the
it?
bridge as well.
Okay. Yeah, that was the bridge, I should say.
Yeah, I
the
don't
command
recall
room.
exactly where we left off. That's where we left off. We all got to the bridge.
Yes.
I thought Dirt was walking down the hallway in search of the sounds.
Dirtilus was? Dirt?
I remember the sounds, but I don't remember if I turned around to walk down the hall. I remember trying to diagnose the sounds, see what they were, see if it was like SOS or something.
Yeah. Oh, that's right. There was a kind of a
A tapping sound.
tapping sound coming in. It was not anything
Yeah.
in that of that nature, because you guys had gone like in the wrong direction, and you came back, ended up going up the lift, and then came out in a corridor and made your way to what would be the command room, and that's where I believe.
I think
you
we
left
were
off.
off. I think we were all going to try to head back to the profit margin to inform our captain of what was going on.
Yeah, because when we tried talking with him, the radio broke up.
Right.
And
Right.
I didn't tell him that Tim's thinks there is some sort of pathogen, because I didn't know.
Why would that be important?
2
So
weeks
what
of quarantine.
Yeah. 2 weeks of quarantine. What a good reason to go back to the ship, though, because none of us are infected, of course.
Well, it
So
also
Mark-
seemed like the records we were looking for were completely corrupted and erased. So
Yes,
Yeah.
correct.
So we'll try to make our way back to the profit margin, I think, and inform the captain of what's going on and see what his next orders are.
What are you going to do with Pander and Cranit?
They seem to be doing just fine. They're androids. They don't take much.
I
right, Derek.
Pander, Grant, would you guys like to join us, or are you fine here taking care of your ship?
Oh,
Yeah, see if they want to join us.
Pander looks at you, says, "What are you doing here? Who
Well,
are you?"
we're investigating the ship.
Rescuing you.
Rescuing us. You may be a bit too late. You need to rescue yourselves.
What do you mean by that?
Just look around.
Is that a threat?
There's nobody here. Alive. Kranit's over there in the corner still like, have you tried this? Have you tried this? Pander, you really have to change the modulation frequency on the squelch on the squelch knob. And Pander's just kind of not paying attention to him.
How'd they die, Pander?
I don't know.
What happened here? You guys don't remember anything, huh?
No. Trying to figure that out. I'm trying to analyze the ship's logs, but it doesn't seem to have any records for the last 7 days. The only record we have is coming out of jump, and then our jump drive malfunctioning. And then things got strange.
And what about the records from your own experience? You've been here for the last 7 days. What have you seen and heard?
Well, other than some of the things that you may have, I haven't experienced anything.
You've just been sitting here for 7 days on your own in this room?
I came to in a different area of the ship, and as I was walking through the ship, I didn't come across any life signs, and came across individuals in disarray, unconscious. Made my way here to check into the logs and the status of the ship. But I don't have any memory before that.
And this was how long ago? A week ago?
He sits there and his eyes kind of stare off for a second. Approximately 7 days ago.
So what you're telling me is that you've been letting the good men and women of your ship starve to death and die of dehydration while you're sitting in here for 7 days checking your logs? Am I understanding that correctly?
No, you are not understanding that correctly. I did not let the crew of the Alexis starve to death.
You said they were passed out.
I found them in that situation. They did not die of starvation, according to what I could determine, but then I do not have a medical degree or background.
If they were passed out and you left them there, they died because of you.
They were already dead.
You just said they were unconscious.
They were unconsciously not dead.
This is malfunction. And then he just stares off in a second. They were dead.
Yo, Dirt, are they is this how you guys normally act? Can you do something about this?
I can run a diagnostics on him, but I think he's confusing time or space. I think something happened to his processor.
I mean, we've all been there before.
Red alert. Sound red alert. Man the stations. Battle stations. Battle stations. Aye, aye, sir. He goes over and stands at a console. Starts messing around.
I'd like to make sure he's not pointing any weapons or anything at the Prophet. Nothing's changed. He's kind of doing, he's going through and flipping some switches and nothing's really happening. There's no lights. There's no sound. Okay. It seems like he's going through some motions, but there isn't anything that you guys have noticed he's making, flip. Nothing he's doing is making any difference. There's no changes to what is happening based on what he's doing. I don't think he notices that the screen's actually turned off.
Hey, Dirk, where's your off switch?
Well, each model has a different off switch position, sir.
Can you guess where the off switch is at?
I could ask him where his off switch is located.
He hasn't been providing reliable answers. This is why I was kind of hoping to do an end run around that.
Maybe I can do a manual reset.
Yeah. Or Dirt, can you download his data core?
I don't want to touch his data core, sir.
And I don't think we want what's in him in dirt.
Well, we could just yank the core out, couldn't we?
Well, I think we should at least turn him off before we pull his core out. But he's definitely malfunctioning.
I mean, not to sound cold-hearted, but we weren't here to retrieve androids. We were here to retrieve data, and there's none to be had. So
he goes from the console to where he's standing, and he pushes through you. If you're in between him, and he goes over to Cranot. Cranot, come to your senses. Man your station. That's an order.
As he pushes by us, I stick my foot out to trip him. Anybody who's going to try to push by me is going to get tripped.
I cannot believe you did that.
I can.
yeah.
He stumbles, but he doesn't fall flat on his face.
All right. I'm fine with that.
All right, I recommend we continue searching on the ship just to verify there's no further survivors.
He turns to you. What are you just standing there for? Obviously, the ship is under duress. Man your stations. Red alert.
And we leave these two here. And with that, I'll turn and I'll just start going down the lift.
Ma'am, permission to deactivate the android.
Permanently. Permission granted, Beaufort. Go, Beaufort.
I'll try and find an off switch before he shoots him in the back.
I was gonna say.
Oh no! I'm whipping out the vibro machete.
Yeah. What if they have a self-defense protocol that kicks in?
Well, the
the other one's
have
in half already.
Exactly.
Buford,
We may still find some use for them yet. Perhaps we shouldn't butcher them.
I'd like to find out how Cranot got cut in half. Is that his name?
Yep.
Yeah, had it. Ask Pander. Pander, how did your counterpart here, Cranot, lose his lower half, and where is his lower half?
So first of all, he just is in his zone. It seems to be, and he's just like popping away at different buttons and levers. His face
John,
down.
as Marines, do we have? Is there a procedure for disabling an android?
Ooh. You know that it's not something that's like a on-off switch on a light. Even in a light.
Well, what centers do we have to? Well, shut down if say we get rid of its visual and hearing processors. Will it shut down then?
So there is a possibility that you could do that. It does depend on what safety measures the Android has in place, I would say. You know of certain ways to do it. You're not sure wholeheartedly if this would be the model that would have this type of switch or this type of deactivation. So you could try it hoping that it's the Model T246, or is it the Model 256, which may be a little bit different.
Okay, take my vibro machete and chop off the head.
That would probably be one way to do it, I'm guessing. So let's see. I will go ahead and give you an advantage on the surprise check for this. So let's see.
But Private Buffy, if I see this, I'd be like, Private Buford, they might have some intel later on.
So Pander is at the console, seems to be completely immersed in whatever he's trying to accomplish. Buford is attempting to pull out. You have a machete, Buford? Is that what you said?
Yep, vibro machete.
Vibro machete. And makes his way towards Pander. Unless you're doing this on like some way, Buford, that is more sublime, I guess. I don't know. Or are you just
Nope, just going up and lopping off the head.
All right.
Short,
I try
sweet.
to ask you, don't you think we should wait? But I would not stop you.
He's malfunctioning. He's a danger. Bye.
All right. Okay. You walk up to
Okay,
Pander.
so
We'll just play it through Buford. And so you walk up. Buford pulls out vibro machete whoom, on the android. Android's head topples off, plops down on the console, down onto the floor. The body slumps to the floor. And then you see the head turn and the eyes kind of roll around. Why did
Thank you.
Why did you
That's
do
not,
that?
That's not creepier.
Why did you do
oh,
that?
good. I'll pick up the head since obviously that's where his data cores are. Throw it in a sack. Okay, we got some data.
That's
All right,
one way
let's
to do
head
it.
back.
So, dear Warden, are
Yes.
these androids like aliens androids?
Yeah.
Just spray milk.
So yeah, basically.
Yeah, there's tentacles and
But-
like fluid and all kinds of stuff that are kind of like spewed all over the place.
Spraying everywhere.
Yeah.
That was a total milk bath there.
Yeah, completely.
Let's get back over to the profit margin, get back in cryo, and I don't want to look at any of you again for months.
Everybody give me a sanity check, please.
Everyone?
Everybody.
8% roll under, right?
The Marines can have advantage, actually.
That's right, because there are two of us next to each other.
Okay.
Well, that would be a big old failure from me.
Take a point of
That's a plus.
take a point of stress if you failed.
If we fail, we take a point of stress.
Yes, please.
I do take a point of stress.
Stressed. Yeah, same here. Bummer.
Yeah.
So those that have failed, it's a little unnerving after the fact to see the android's head roll off onto the ground and his body slump to. Some of you that may have succumbed to the shock of this may not have seen something such so barbaric, may be a strong word, but it was sudden and unexpected and a little unnerving.
Oh, by the way, when I see
It's like-
that, I'm just going to point out mechanically, everyone gets extra stress from me.
Oh, that's
and
right.
I will go off on Buford.
So
Yes.
the doctor.
I am going to go off on. I'm just going to go off
So
on
one more?
Buford about how ridiculous that was and how you don't know if there's any safety protocols and we don't know if there's any bacteria that's inside androids. Who the hell even knows what's inside androids?
Well, I
we
can
do
tell you
now.
exactly what's inside an android.
But in that case, you might be malfunctioning too. Do I have to do
Dr.
the same
Timms.
thing to you?
Yeah.
Dr. Timms, you are not helping the situation. Calm down.
Yeah, Dirt was on his way to actually take off the head of the pander because he thought it was a reasonable way to get the memory core until he heard Dr. Tim start speaking, and then he put his vibro knife back in his sheath.
That's right. The scientist in Mothership that fails a sanity check, everybody takes a point of stress, right, Jared? Good call.
Yeah.
Yep. Because the person of reason's losing his marbles. All right.
Also, if you make the suggestion that you may need to put me down for malfunctioning, I am definitely reaching for my trank gun.
Oh, he's reached for his trank gun? I pop him one.
Yeah, and
I
Ogda
will-
immediately points her gun at Timms and says, "You can put that away."
He threatened me.
I hit him.
Well,
I have close quarters combat.
I'm a doctor. If he hits me, he's going to hit me. That's fine. I just basically didn't want a machete taking my head off. That was why the the trank gun was coming out.
Us Marines stick together, even if I don't agree with Buford's decisions. I'll back him up.
So whatever happens, I'm not resisting getting punched.
I will disarm him. I will disarm him forcibly.
all right. I think Jim's face says it all.
Good Lord, people. Let's
The
go back to
android's
the
not
ship.
getting in the way.
Go back to sleep. I think everyone's a little cranky. We just need to go have a nap.
So Buford, are you trying to disarm the doctor? Well, first of all, hold
Yes.
on a second. Now, Jared, is that what you're doing? It was pulling out. What were you pulling something out?
Yeah, I was just reaching for my trank gun
Okay.
because he said, if you're malfunctioning, maybe we need to do the same thing to you.
I
I wanted to revisit that because I had just seen a head come off someone.
Buford, you're trying to disarm him?
Yes.
Okay. I guess we could play this out, right? In combat.
Sure.
I don't think anybody's surprised necessarily.
No one's surprised that this
Nah, probably
happened.
not.
I think we kind of see this coming a little bit.
Just our XO.
All right, so speed checks to both of you, and anybody else, I guess, who wants to interject in this.
Ogda's going to let this first part play out, but if there's any chance that Buford's in trouble, Ogda's going to hop in this next round.
There's no
And-
chance that Buford's in trouble.
I'm gonna make a speed check because I would try and stop anybody.
0-1.
The other one.
Okay, I got you.
85.
88.
Okay.
0-1. I move faster than a speeding bullet.
Jackson's going over to Eric and to Ogda, and I'm like, okay, odds. What are the odds? Come on.
Oh, Jackson wants to put down bets.
Yeah, I'm placing the bookie.
Man, you guys have been cooped up way too long in real life. Like, this was not the vibe I got last session.
Normally, Ogda would be game for something like this, but her face is looking real serious right now, and she's not fooling around.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah, this serious business. So, Lark, what do you do? Are you doing anything given the situation?
Oh, these fucking guys. Look, we have a job to do here. Are you guys done fucking around? Can we, do what we came here for?
I just don't want to
Please.
get decapitated.
Buford,
I don't think Buford's going to decapitate anyone.
Buford, you've got the drop.
Okay. I take his gun.
Okay, is that you attempt to disarm him?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see. Now, Dr. Aaron Timms, since it's close quarter combat, you get the option to on how you want to address this. Are you familiar with the actions you can take?
No.
So when you do combat and it's more of a ranged attack, it's strictly attack and then it's a body save if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
But in close
that-
quarters combat, you can opt to do a couple different things, which I will share.
Sorry, I was looking at Hobbs' comments.
Shoot him.
Shoot him now.
All right, everybody, participate in the chat, but please do not let it influence you. Do your thing. All right. So with close quarter combat, the attacker, which would be Buford, makes a combat check. Buford. And then the defender, you can decide, Jared, whether you want to oppose the roll with an armor save, which is more a defense, or you can do another combat, which would be more of a counterattack, or you can do a body save, which would be a method to try to get out of the way or run away.
I think it would be more of a body save because I'm just trying to move my hand away from him so that I can still shoot him with the trank dart in case he wants to cut my head off.
All right. So go ahead and roll Buford and Dr. Timms.
27 out of 49.
Okay.
16 out of what's my body save? Not as good as his. 16 out of 25.
So 16 out of 25 is 9, and Buford, yours was what was your result? Difference?
27 from 49.
Okay. So if I'm not mistaken, Jeff, correct me if I'm wrong, Goad, that Dr. Timms would succeed because he's succeeded and he's the closest to the max of his score.
It's been a while since I looked, but the way I recall, and I might be wrong, is that it's the person who has the highest roll that is also a success.
Yes.
So maybe I'm thinking something else.
No, I think you're right. Yeah, it's the
Yeah.
highest roll.
Yeah, that sounds familiar.
Being a success. Okay. So
There's no math involved.
no, I apologize. You're right. So Buford goes like full on Marine hand to hand, takes the doc. Buford, how do you do this? You narrate it.
Basically, I was just going to grab his wrist and make him drop the gun.
Okay. Those are the gun.
Nothing too severe.
So you get the gun to drop to the floor, or do you try to actually grab it out of him? Okay. So he does this fancy move with his hands, and then the trank gun drops to the floor. And all of you see this.
And I kick it further away.
Okay. And there's a silence on the bridge of the
Yeah.
Alexis. And then you see the lights flicker. And you hear
Dirt's
scraping.
confused.
You hear a scraping sound.
And when everything gets really tired, really quiet, Tim's is going to look at Buford and say, "You're not getting a Christmas card."
If you freak out like that, like that again, we're probably all gonna die.
You threatened me with a vibro machete.
You come up screaming in my face just because I took the core from an android.
You cut the head off of an android.
Dirt,
Doctor,
you,
I need you to calm down.
Well, I don't have a mechanics set.
Dirt, you feel something come over you a little bit. It feels you get a tingly feeling around your, on your body. It's not affecting you. You just feel as though some type of energy feeling that tingles throughout your systems. And then as the lights flicker and you hear the scraping sounds of something on metal, maybe dragged across the ventilation system, and then as that occurs, there are a couple bodies that are on the bridge that you didn't really go over and investigate. They're are crew members. But as that happens, you see that their bodies start to tremble. Their eyelids open up. They don't move, but there's like a vibration to them, and their eyes start to wander around and look feverishly around the room.
And Dirt's the only one who sees this happen. He sees or hears any of it.
Everybody sees this happen. Dirt is the only one that has this weird, strange feeling going through his system. I would say body, but whatever.
All this interaction is putting me uneasy, and I've never felt like this before. I think we should all try and calm down. And did his eyes open?
I've got my SMG trained on one of the corpses whose eyelids are fluttering.
Guys, I think it's time we back out of here and we head out of here and go down to down the lift.
Doctor, you sure these guys are dead?
Everybody give me sanity check. Don't see this every day. It's weird. Bodies like just automatically, sporadically twitching, and their eyes are open, looking around. You figured these were all dead.
Made it. I'm still too annoyed to be scared.
Lark's got his senses about him. Ogda's reaching deep
97.
into that discipline.
I'm pretty sure I failed.
Yeah, I got a 95.
97. I beat you.
I got
You know
an
what he-
86.
You know
3
what
out of
happened?
25.
You know what happens when the scientist fails, though?
Yep. Everybody gets an extra.
Everybody takes a freaking point.
Additional
of stress.
stress, right?
Yep.
Yes, additional stress if you actually took stress.
And if you didn't take stress, you still take 1 point of stress.
Correct.
Bah.
All right.
The scientist
Ogda.
is
I got 20.
unnerving you. Like go ahead,
So-
Dr. Tims.
So yeah, as soon as Ogda says, "Are you sure they're dead?" It's like, "The fuck? Of course they're not. I don't know. That's.
All right.
I wish I had a trank gun right now.
Keeping an eye on those things. And Buford, if you could lead us to the airlock, please. And thank you.
Okay. I start going forward. I make sure I pick up the trank gun and hand it back to the doctor. You might need that.
And Ogda will keep the rear and keep her back to the rest of the group with her gun pulled in case anything wants to come towards us as we're exiting.
And I'll
And
talk.
before-
I'm going to walk next to Dr. Timms and say, "Doctor, what sort of pathogens could cause that?"
Pathogen, not man. It's spooks.
Yeah, before I leave the room, I would check the body with the blinking eyes to make sure it was not an android.
Okay.
Entirely possible because that's what my brain
Actually-
is going to tell me afterwards.
Actually, are we sure they're even dead?
Are you checking
That's
in
fair.
the same way that Buford checked to make sure that the android?
Actually, looking for like is it white blood or is it red blood? Yeah.
So, Dirt, you do just a quick,
Yeah.
check on one of the bodies that isn't the two that you had run into, and they're human. And as far as you can tell, you could check. I mean, you could check for a pulse. It doesn't take a medical degree, and
Yeah.
they're dead as a doornail. But as you're standing there, it's just that they're twitching and twitching, and then
I would try and close their eyes all the way,
Why are we standing
and
here?
then stand up and turn around. And
Well, you got you got an android doing his android thing, of course.
Once the android is actually playing with the body and I calm down a little bit, I pull out the med scanner to take a quick scan of the body that's twitching.
All right.
Would you like me to make a check?
You can take a check with advantage.
Ooh, that sounds like fun.
well, Doctor, this doesn't make any sense at all.
I will take the 23 in that case.
Yeah, they're dead. All signs lead to death.
I'm less concerned about confirming that they're dead, other than getting maybe a profile so that I can take it back to my lab and go, what the fuck just happened off the reading later.
Okay.
And I'll be taking like an optical video recording of those.
Yep, they're dead,
Balls
guys.
fluttering. Yeah.
Totally dead.
We head down the lift. Where are we? Are we heading back to the profit margin, or are we going to go explore more around the ship, figure out what else is going on?
He told the XO told me to lead us out of here, so we're getting out of here.
Is that the plan, Lark?
Back to the airlock.
All right.
On the way out, can I fire a trank dart into the twitching body? Like I'm going to crank the dose all the way up and just go, stop moving.
Yeah, sure.
That was a 14 to shoot it. I know it probably won't do anything, but
Yeah, you hit it. It seems to
Careful,
still
you might
move.
stop
but
this
What's
hard.
wrong with you? You said he's dead. Why are you shooting him?
because I wanted to see what the tranquilizer did to it.
It's an experiment.
Now he's.
Sometimes you have to do science on the fly.
Profit margin to Lark. This is Captain. Come in, Lark.
Lark here.
What's the status?
We are returning to the profit margin. It seems like all the data's been destroyed. There's lots of dead things that are still moving, and I think Buford probably needs some R&R. He's a little on edge.
And he's cut off from happy pills.
What do you mean everybody's dead?
All the cryo chambers have bodies in them, no life signs. There's some corpses on the bridge and a couple of now dismantled androids.
10-4.
Not sure what happened, but there's lights flickering and there's movement. Something's in here. We're coming back.
Did you get the ship's logs? Any records?
They were erased.
By whom?
No telling. The androids weren't able to communicate very well, and now they can't communicate at all.
Oh, just one of them.
We do have the data core
Mr.
from one of the androids, so there's
I
some...
still got the head.
Buford, did you grab the head?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, God.
Yeah, he said he grabbed the head and put it in a sack.
Yep.
Okay.
Buford
now I
kind
have
of
the data
scares
for it.
me.
Yeah, rightfully so, Dirt.
Yeah.
All right. Well,
Ooh.
Oh,
Buford
you
out.
two drop, Curtis. You dropped, you dirty bastard.
Now your beautiful Twitch interface is a total
Son
disaster.
of a bitch.
Yeah, that was looking pretty sweet.
I'm gonna,
I'm now half Lark, half Ogda.
Yeah.
That guy.
Oh, we're back on?
yeah, we're back on. So
Oh, sorry.
Ixnay on the Hobbs, eh? All right. Sorry for the brief delay, folks. We all had to take a break and fix the snafu that is Zoom. So, all right. So the captain's talking to Lark. And he's... all of a sudden you hear something occur in the background to the communication from the profit margin that the alarm is going off, and the captain is, what's going on? Status update.
Is he asking us, or that's coming in over the radio?
Lark, I think we've lost communication.
What do you mean?
Captain, are you there?
Lark,
Captain.
see what you can find. What? Get him up! Get him up!
All right, Buford, double time. Let's get back to that airlock.
Less yakking, more moving. Let's go.
Let's go.
You guys, as you're making your way out of the bridge, the command room, you feel a jolt throughout the ship that makes you lose your balance very briefly. It's not that anybody falls to the... Actually, you know what?
And this is a big ship, right?
It's a pretty decent sized ship. I mean, it's a 3-level type ship, and so to take a jaunt or a bit of a beef to you guys.
Everyone to the left.
Whoa! And back to the right.
Yo!
Yeah, give me strength checks. Make sure you guys don't fall on your faces.
Did I hear speed? 90.
Wah, wah.
I rolled a 90 as well.
I rolled a 92.
Oh my God, you guys are awesome.
88,
Failure buddies.
88 out of
wait, the guy-
35.
That was a pretty big bump.
48.
Anybody
The guy in-
succeed?
Yeah, the guy in front with the gun. 08.
I think
Thank goodness Buford is still standing up.
Buford seems to be the guy in charge because he's like succeeding on everything. So the jolt is very, very unexpected. It's not the size of the jolt. It's just that you're walking down the corridor. It's dark. You can't really make out all the nuances. And then all of a sudden, I mean, it was completely by surprise. The whole ship there's a jolt to it. And those that failed slip and fall, or you go up against the bulkhead and slide. Buford, I think you're the only one that's still standing without any problems.
So who's nearest me that I can help?
No specific damage or anything. It was just this thing's popping around here.
Okay, keep an eye down the hallway then. Lights on, gun up.
All right, we should be getting close to the airlock based on where my awesome directional skills.
Could that have been an asteroid or something else that hit the ship?
Lark, come in. This is the profit margin.
Profit margin, this is Lark.
We bit need to evasive maneuvers.
While you're docked?
I'm guessing we're no longer docked based on
Let's move faster.
on that
Yes, please.
jolt.
We're on our way.
Okay. You go out of the corridor and you make your way to the lift. You open the lift. goes down a level to where you came in, and you feel the ship jolt again, and you all get shaken, but you still maintain your footing, probably because of the last shock. You seem to have gotten your balance a little bit better. So you make your way down. You're at the airlock, and you could hear something on the other side of the airlock. So you hear metal on metal, and then all of a sudden it seems quiet.
Look out the window.
Okay, look out a porthole.
Yeah.
And it looks like the
Yeah.
profit margin has disconnected from the Alexis.
What?
Forcibly? I mean, is it like wrecked on the other side, or is the tunnel still intact?
Lark, sir,
Well,
you
there-
might have a problem.
There's the tunnel, but there's no other door at the other end of that tunnel.
Okay, gotcha.
All right.
So it's vacuum on the other side.
I mean, right
we-
now, yeah.
Are we able to see the ship at all? Or is it just completely gone?
You look out the porthole and you do see the ship. It hasn't been destroyed or it's not obliterated. You could see it. It seems as though it's floating out away from the Alexis.
Profit margin, this is Lark. Profit margin, this is Lark.
March. Cut. Yep.
What are they saying?
Cut. Go.
Did you forget something? Precious cargo.
Stand. By. Come. We'll. Experiencing. So. Force.
Sean, your audio's cutting in and out.
Didn't you guys get all that? Like the last 3 minutes of, like I just said.
Not only, but the video is also bouncing.
I don't
We're cutting
understand
it.
why that's bouncing. Honestly, the video is bouncing, and I'm not quite
Yeah.
sure why that is. Let me see.
Profit margin, please don't leave me here with these people.
Oh, hey.
Oh, I said the quiet part out loud. Sorry.
Sanity check just for you.
Go up and put my hand on his shoulder. Don't worry, buddy. We got your back.
Thank you, Buford.
Well, I think since we obviously aren't getting evac yet, we need to find a safe place around to hole up. So we need to do a little more searching around the ship to find a safe place to
So
rest.
Ogda was previously in the rear. That means as they turn around, she's now in the lead. So I'll start leading the way for us to find a safe